best there was, and for years and years, he never failed at coming up with a story for the king.
The years passed, and the storyteller became very wealthy, spinning his nightly tales for the king.
He had his own land, his own horse and hounds. He and his wife, they had a happy life. And every morning before breakfast, he would go into his garden and think of a story for the night.
What a lovely day it is today, for sure. The birds are chirping, the smell of echoing green in the air. A finer day I do not expect. What would be the story for this fine day?
Why such a long face and such a fine day, my dear husband?
I'm doomed!
Doomed, he says. What's dooming you on this day?
I've got no story for the king tonight.
Eat up your breakfast and maybe something will come. How are you to think that there's something grumbling like that?
Don't you see? I've never come to breakfast without a story. I'm doomed, I know.
Not as doomed as that poor fellow.
Who's that?
Looks like an old beggar man. We should bring him for breakfast.
So be it. Who are you, my dear?
Oh then, 'tis little matter who I am. I'm a poor, old, miserable, decrepit creature, sitting down here to rest a while.
Do you have some breakfast?
Oh, none for me, please. But I'm really in need of someone to wager with.
Old man like you to wager.
Why, I have 100 gold pieces here in this leather purse.
Accept this offer. Who knows what luck you may have, and maybe in the evening you'll have a story to tell the king.
On his wife's insistence, they played a game of dice.
And wouldn't you know it, the old beggar man won, and before long, the storyteller lost every penny of his fortune.
A fine day indeed. Now I'm storyless and penniless.
Will you play again?
Are you making sport of me, man? What else do I have to stake?
Haven't you horses and hounds?
Well, what else?
I'll stake all the money I have against thine.
So the two men played again.
The old beggar man won again.
Will you play again?
I will not. There's nothing else to stake.
I'll stake all my winnings against your one.
Accept this offer. This is the third time. You'll surely win now.
So the old men played again.
And no sooner had the storyteller lost to his sorrow and surprise, his wife went and sat down near the old ugly beggar man.
Is that, is it?
Have you anything else to wager?
I have not.
I'll stake the whole now, wife and all, against your own self.
We don't even have to say it, do we?
He lost.
You've won my whole self. Now what do you want with me?
And with that, the beggar man waved his wand and whisked the storyteller off to the castle of King Leinster.
The old beggar man waited by the pet door, and the storyteller was made invisible, able to see all, but not be seen himself.
Who are you and what do you want?
I come from the outmost streams of earth, from the glens where the white swans glide. A night in Islay, a night in Man, a night on the cold hillside. Oh, just an old traveler, come to entertain.
Can you tell stories? My storyteller has come guiding my necklace.
I can't tell stories, but I can play the sweetest music your ears have ever heard.
I have visited the finest. I've no need for your performance. The story is what I need.
The finest in the land, you say? Make them play. Let me be the judge.
If you wish.
Did you ever? Oh, king. Hear the sound of a cat purring over a bowl of broth, or the buzzing of beetles in the twilight, or the sound of a shrill old woman scolding your head off.
I certainly have.
More below the worst of these sounds, and the sweetest harping of thy musicians.
This made the musicians very angry, and they picked up their instruments and charged at the beggar man.
But the old beggar man waved his wand, and the musicians began to attack each other.
The king became furious and sent for his guards.
Guys, have this those men locked.
When the guards came back, they found the old beggar man sitting on the king's throne.
Didn't we just lock you up?
You surely did not!
Then who did we lock up?
I believe it was the king's brother.
The king's brother.
And I've hidden the keys to his chains.
We'll have to use extra things on this one. But just as the first time, when the guards returned to the throne, they found the storyteller sitting again on the king's throne.
I am most certain we locked you up that time.
And with twice the chains.
And yet here I am, once again upon the throne.
Well then, who did we lock up this time?
I believe it was the queen.
The queen?
And I've hidden the keys to her chains.
The king will have our heads for this one.
Do you wish to lock me up once more?
Leave us be.
You have given us enough trouble for one evening.
Now, you're reasonable. Since you've given up trying to lock up a stranger because he finds fault with your music, I don't mind telling you this. If you go back to the dungeon, you'll find your friends unchained and content as they be.
And again, the beggar man vanished.
Taking with him the storyteller.
Back to the spot where the two first met.
Where his wife was waiting with the horse and hounds.
Now, I'll torment you no longer. Here's your wife, your horses, and your hounds, your money. Do with them as you please.
For my houses and my horses and my hounds, I thank you, but my wife and my money you may keep.
No, I want neither. As for your wife, don't think ill of her for what she did. She couldn't help it.
Not helping! Not help casting me off for the sake of a beggarly old...
I'm not as beggarly or as old as you may think. I'm Sir Angus of the Brook. Many a story you've told of me to the fellow king of Leinster. This morning, my master told me of the trouble you were in, and I made up my mind to get you out of it. The magic that changed your body changed your wife's mind. Forget and forgive as man and wife should do, and now you'll have a story for the fellow king of Leinster when he calls for one.
And with that, the old beggarman disappeared.
And that night, the storyteller told King Leinster the tale of old Angus of the Gruff.
The king laughed for so long